Hey, so if you're watching this video, it's probably because you missed the day when we set up our digital portfolios. So just to kind of recap, I've mentioned before, but the purpose of doing the digital portfolio is there's actually a couple of reasons. Number one, it helps contribute to your digital footprint, which we talked about and we said is important in the 21st century to help set yourself apart from other people. Just kind of gives you a cool place to showcase the different things that you've done before, and it gives employers or colleges kind of a hint as to some of the things that you're capable of. But also, because we don't have a written final exam or a multiple choice or anything like that, this is your place to show me and explain to me the things that you've learned throughout the semester. So it counts towards your final, and it also helps boost your digital footprint. Now, to get started, I'm going to have you go to the new Google Sites. So I'm going to, in my new tab here, I'm going to go to sites.google.com/new. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now I've already got a sample portfolio set up, but I'm going to set up another one with you just so that way you can see how we did it. So you're going to come down here and you're going to click on new, and it's going to create a new site for you. We're going to have you go ahead and title the site up here where it says Untitled Site, and we're going to call this, I'm going to put my last name, you put your last name, don't put my last name, and then I'm going to do iStudies. And we're going to do it as iStudies in case you come back. That way then we continue to add. You'll have an iTech page, an iDesign page, an iCreate page, one for each class that we have in iStudies. So I'm going to do McCarroll's iStudies portfolio. Obviously put your own last name in there, don't put mine. This is going to be our welcome page. We're going to work with that later. Now what's really cool about Google Sites is that you can change like the headers. It's really easy to use. You can change the headers here. I'm going to go ahead and change my image. You can upload one or just select one. They've got a lot of cool default ones. So I'm just going to scroll through real quick, find one that I think looks kind of cool. There's some pretty plain ones if you want to use those. There's all these kind of funky looking new ones. I'm going to do this one. I think that looks cool. Cool. So I've got my welcome page set up. Now we're going to add two new pages to our site. So I'm going to go ahead and click Pages up here. Insert is where you're going to add all the stuff you put on a web page. Pages is where you add the pages themselves. So I'm going to click on New Page. I'm going to title this one About Me and hit Done. I'm not really going to do anything with that right now. We're going to come back work on that later towards the end of the semester. I'm going to add a second page though, and I'm going to call it iTech. And what we're going to do throughout the semester is add to our iTech page, so that way by the end of the semester you will have all of the content already written up and you won't have to cram it all in as you're getting ready for your finals and stuff. So I'm just calling this one iTech. I'm going to go back to Insert and I'm going to add a text box. And I'm going to type in here Unit 1. This was the first unit we did, Life in the 21st Century. And I've got that there. It looks kind of plain though, so I'm going to kind of jazz it up a little bit, and I'm going to click on the text. Instead of doing normal, I'm going to make it a heading. And that'll make it look a little bit, I guess it'll make it stand out a little bit better. Now, if you don't like the way that this looks, you can actually change the theme of your site by clicking on Themes, and you can scroll through and find one that you like. How about we go with this one? Cool. I'm going to do green because I like that color better. Okay. Sweet. So now I've got this big heading and all of that stuff. You'll see it changed the font of my header and all that. I'm going to go ahead and add another text box. Now, oops, that's not what we want. Now in this text box, I'm going to put a short description of the unit, probably 2 to 3 sentences, kind of in your own words. Really what we're looking for here is what was the unit about? Okay, so you're going to describe and say, in the first couple of weeks of iTech, we learned that blah, blah, blah. This is where you talk about digital footprint and digital citizenship and how technology advances so quickly. All that stuff we talked about at the beginning of the semester. And what your main takeaways were. That's another 2 to 3 sentences. So by takeaways, basically like what are the big things that you learned personally? Like what was new to you, what was interesting, anything like that. So really you're looking at a paragraph, right? Between like 5 or 6 sentences maybe that describes a little bit about Unit 1. So we're going to go ahead and add to this as we go. Unit 1 was Life in the 21st Century. We're adding more units on as we go. And then that's pretty much it. Now the only last thing that we have to do to make sure that this site goes live is click Publish. And that's going to ask me, what do I want my site location to be? It's going to start with HTTPSS. Remember, that's a secured website, sites.google.com/gpschools.com/, and I get to choose what comes next. I'm going to do my last name, and I'm going to put iStudies portfolio. Okay, I misspelled iStudies. Make sure you spell it right. It's going to tell me that mine's taken because I already made one of these, but yours should have a little check mark over here like it did just a second ago. And then I'm going to check, instead of who can visit my site, I'm going to say anyone on the web, because then that way it adds to my footprint. And then you'll be able to hit publish when you're done. So go ahead and publish, even though you might not be ready yet. Once you've hit publish, all you have to do when you're done working on it is hit publish again, and it'll just update your site, and that's pretty much it. So you can get working on your writing up some stuff for Unit 1.